Here we have a problem that deals with identifying the base unit of a specific physical quantity. In this case, it's actually a constant. Now, in order for us to solve questions like this, the first thing that we need to do is to identify first what are the base units of the quantities involved in the equation. Okay, here we have an equation. F is equals to Q1 times Q2 over 4 pi r squared E. All those quantities that most likely would possess its own units should be identified first. Then afterwards, we try to rework our equation and make the desired physical quantity that we want to find the unit to be the subject of your equation. Okay, so let's begin with Q. Q is actually charge that has a unit of C, coulomb, but it's also equivalent to its base unit, which is ampere times seconds, right? The next is radius. Radius is equals to length, so that is meters. Then the last would be force, which is equal to Newton, but it's also equal to kilogram meter per second squared. Now that we have identified every single base unit of the quantities involved in the equation, we can now make the equation that would actually identify the base unit of our constant epsilon. So let's have the equation. F is equals to Q1 Q2 over 4 pi r squared epsilon. Then make epsilon the subject of your equation. Cross multiply the bottom term. 4 pi r squared epsilon equals to Q1 Q2. Divide both sides by F 4 pi r squared. Cancel this. And now you have an equation that your subject is epsilon. Q1 Q2 over F 4 pi r squared. Now, since you have this already, now it's easy for us to identify what would be now the possible or what is the base unit of epsilon. Now we know that Q1 and Q2 are both coulombs or ampere second. Then we can say that this will become a squared second squared. On the bottom, you have your force. So that gives you kilogram meter per second squared multiplied by the 4 is an absolute value. Pi is also an absolute value, so they don't have any units. And for r squared, you'll have now meter squared. Now, to deal and simplify all of this, you will now have a squared s to the fourth kilogram per kilogram dot per cubic meter. So this now will be the unit or the base unit of epsilon.